A wide variety of services for area veterans was showcased this week with the annual Veteran Stand-Down event at WNCC. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the TRIO Veterans Upward Bound program at Western Nebraska Community College and Black Hills Veterans Affairs hosted a stand-down event for all area veterans this week at Cougar Palace. Mike Milliken, VUB Interim Assistant Director, told KNEB News that there are really valuable resources available to veterans in the Panhandle, and they want to bring them all together in one location so veterans and their families can access everything they need.
Well, yeah, we've had a great turnout. I think we had 36, 38 tables with vendors and people offering different services. Yesterday we had 48 people show up, 48 veterans show up. And today, I think we're already past that number.
Some of the services included VA benefits, housing referrals, employment services, legal assistance, clothing, and more. The event was also supported by Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership, Nebraska Department of Labor, and VetSet Nebraska. Well, the Gering City Council approved 3 special event permits for fireworks shows from late June to early July, but not without certain stipulations related to fire weather conditions. Fire Chief Nathan Flowers expressed some concerns about possible dry and windy conditions later this month as permit requests were being considered for pyrotechnics for a member guest golf tournament at Monument Shadows, a show for the Western Nebraska Pioneers at Oregon Trail Park, and the Allred Brothers annual show.
If we approve the permit based off a stipulation of established parameters by the fire department that must be met prior to the event. And if we can meet those, a day or 2 or 3 days prior to the event, then the event can occur. If we can't meet those based off of weather parameters or something, for instance, a red flag day, if there's a red flag day that's going on at the same time as the firework event, that's pretty concerning.
Flowers noted that this year the Gering Fire Department has already responded to 22 grass or brush fires compared to only 2 in the same period last year. Justin Allred said none of the organizers want to cause a wildfire situation and that discussions about weather conditions are always a consideration of if and when a show can proceed, but there were other considerations as well.
The contingencies for us really are coming down to the fact that for the big show and for the golf course show, those fireworks are not purchased until June 25th. We have a small inventory on hand right now for the Pioneers show coming up.
Ultimately, the council gave unanimous approval to all 3 permits, contingent on organizers and city staff agreeing before the shows that conditions are favorable. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and in fact a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance and in retrospect a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome back. A bright yellow postcard could soon be showing up in your mailbox, an indication that the valuation on your property will be changing this year. Scottsbluff County Assessor Angela Dillman says the postcard notifications for valuation changes went into the mail on Wednesday. Previous discussions of the subject pointed to increases for residential properties up to the low double digits, but only for structures, while commercial valuations will remain the same, and some agricultural land valuations will actually drop. According to Dillman, the valuation averages for the county are set at 93% of market value for residential property, 92% for commercial, and 75% for ag land. Well, the Nebraska Safety Council urges you to put your cell phone away and drive. The Safety Council's Chris Bloom says thousands die in car crashes involving cell phone use.
You know, some statistics that we had here in Nebraska, just back in 2019, there were 1,495 distracted driving crashes, and 19 of those were fatal. And that was due to folks drinking coffee, eating their food through the drive-through, or sending a text or talking on the cell phone.
In 2019, Nebraska teens were involved in 93 cell phone-related crashes. And the Creighton University Mid-America Business Condition Index fell by nearly 6 points in May, but remained above growth neutral for the 24th straight month. Economist Ernie Goss says the index, using identical methodology as the National Institute for Supply Management, was a still solid 60.0 for May compared to April's 65.9. Goss says there is still positive growth overall, but the survey results point to a slowing of the regional economy.
We asked the supply managers about the greatest economic threats for 2022, and not surprisingly, 2 out of 3 named supply chain disruptions.
Also of concern are labor shortages, rising interest rates, and inflation, the last of which Goss says will remain high the rest of the year, but could come down a bit. Nebraska's overall index for May slipped by 1 point to 68.6. Well, coming after the break, Governor Pete Ricketts and Rural Radio Network's Bryce Duskett recently returned from a trip to Las Vegas to promote Nebraska beef. Bryce will have that story right after this.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, a few thunderstorms are going to rumble around the region here early this evening. Otherwise, we're going to clear out overnight, and by late evening, actually, storms will come to an end here in the next hour or two, and clearing out with temps down into the 50-degree range overnight. So storms are going to be around this evening, some strong to severe. Daily chances around until Tuesday of next week, and really through most of next week, actually, as temps are going to remain near normal. I do think thunderstorm chances will be a little lesser starting Wednesday of next week. 75 yesterday after a morning low of 44. Nothing in the rain gauge, still looking on the board here for June. And we need any moisture that we can get. The latest drought monitor continues to show moderate drought conditions, but we have seen some improvement over the last couple of weeks here in this drought monitor map. So, again, moderate drought conditions now across western portions of Nebraska and most of southeastern Wyoming. A few areas there from Sidney over to Oshkosh and southeast in severe drought conditions, and around the Wheatland area. Temperatures are in the 70s out there to near 80 degrees. You could see where a couple of thunderstorms have pushed through, dropping temperatures down into the 60s and low 70s out ahead of that system. And there's some of the storms showing up with some wind gusts on radar as well. Winds over 20, 25, gusting 50 to 55 at times in some of those thunderstorms. Severe weather threat is in our area and points to the south. I think the greater severe weather threat is going to be just to the south of us for the next several days. Today and tomorrow, a marginal risk of severe storms in portions of the Panhandle, and maybe even a little farther southeast on Sunday, although I think thunderstorm coverage will be greater on Sunday as well. So there's those storms here this evening. They're quickly going to push off to the east and die out in the next hour or two. and we're going to see clearing skies overnight, quiet weather conditions the rest of the night, and lows that are going to fall down into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. Tomorrow, a similar day to today. Going to see a lot of sun to start the day. And then as we go through the early afternoon hours, start to see a buildup of clouds, and once again, an isolated, scattered coverage of showers and thunderstorms. I think they'll be a little more isolated tomorrow, but we'll see some of those showers and storms here across the region late tomorrow again, and highs right again near that 80-degree mark either side of it for most of us, a little cooler in far northern portions of the region. Again, if you can get under some of those heavier producing showers and thunderstorms, we could see more moisture than this. Right now, though, we're looking at a trace to maybe a quarter to a half an inch in some locations. Again, if you can get under some of those heavier showers and storms, we could get an inch or two isolated of moisture here across the region. Let's take a look at our forecast tonight. Storms early, partly cloudy, 50 for a low. Tomorrow, we're going to see just a isolated late-day storms form in the afternoon. We'll be right around 82. I think a slightly better coverage on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with temps right around that 80-degree mark. We drop a little bit on Wednesday and then back to near 80 Thursday, Friday. We took the storms out of the forecast, but notice they're not completely gone. Still 10 to 20% chances of some rain later on in the week. So really the next 4 days, tonight and then the next 4 days after that, decent shots of getting scattered to numerous afternoon showers and thunderstorms.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scotts Bluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
The Beef Promotion Tour kicked off at the Wynn Resort and Casino. Attendees of the trip received a behind-the-scenes glimpse of the massive resort, which includes 4,700 rooms and suites, 32 restaurants, and much more.
We're here in Las Vegas talking with places like the Wynn to say, hey, world-class restaurants deserve world-class beef. And so it's an opportunity for us to be able to bring in producers from Nebraska, talk to the folks here about how we raise our beef in Nebraska, why it's the best in the world, and just work with some of the folks who are involved in the industry here so that we can give them some of the tools to be able to talk to their customers about why they should buy Nebraska beef.
The Wynn Resort serves up tons of beef, 460 tons of beef each year to be exact. After that tour, some of the chefs had the opportunity to meet with Nebraska beef producers to learn where that steak began. Nebraska Department of Agriculture Director Steve Wellman said the discussion helps build spokespeople for Nebraska beef.
Who better than the people in the kitchen, the chefs, and then their team and the weight team that interface with the customers all the time. And I think we've invited them, the chefs, to Nebraska if they want to come back, visit us in person and visit our ranches. We'll surely do that with these folks and help. We talked about how they meet daily or quite often with their wait staff and talk about the products that they're putting on the plates. And we're going to make that connection back to Nebraska on those beef items.
Those beef items from Nebraska often get their start inside the walls of Greater Omaha Packing Company. Representatives from the company, including President Mike Drury, joined the governor on this promotion trip.
Greater Omaha Packing is a third generation, independently owned packing house right in the heart of Omaha, Nebraska. And we buy the best Angus, Hereford cattle in the state of Nebraska, and been processing those cattle, and we export product to over 70 countries and through all the states, all throughout the United States.
From Omaha Packing Company to regional meat distributors such as Newport Meat of Nevada. On the second day of the tour, the group visited that business, which is a division of Sysco. Newport Meat will often order beef and further process it into specific cuts for high-end restaurants and resorts. Jocelyn Mango is the sales manager for the company. She says it is important to continue the passion that was put into raising that animal.
We basically continue the story and the passion of what that happens in the ags and in the middle of America. We want to continue those standards that they took to make sure that that quality came to us to be able to produce those steaks for those chefs. Basically, it's important that we kind of push that passion in what we do, because that chef is going to be that last person that puts it on that plate. So we really want to make sure that what your guys' work that's getting done in Nebraska is actually going to be shown and highlighted perfectly here in Las Vegas or any of those other cities that our product goes to.
The beef producers who were on that tour agreed the trip was a worthy investment of time to make connections and share the story of Nebraska beef.
I'm one bookend of the beef industry, and this is the other bookend. And it is so important for all of the segments, all the books in between, to come together and understand the whole process throughout this very segmented industry.
People are demanding the quality product that comes out of Nebraska, and that I think we've all learned through this is that Nebraska is best positioned for high quality beef. From the conception of the live calf in a cow-calf operation all the way through the feedlots to the beef packers such as Greater Omaha, Nebraska's best positioned than anywhere in the country for the beef industry.
The idea of a domestic beef promotion tour spurred out of restrictions on international travel due to the coronavirus pandemic. Governor Ricketts said he was pleased by the interactions the group had while in Las Vegas.
By bringing in our producers that can talk directly about what they do, it really helps the folks here in Las Vegas understand where that beef comes from so they can tell their customers. So that's probably the most valuable part of this trip.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your weekend community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scotts Bluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, if you're looking for a fun way to help teach your pooch proper behavior, the 4-H Puppy Lovers Dog Club has a special session for you this coming weekend. While the spring and summer is usually set aside for practicing for county fair dog shows, members of the club are opening up their Saturday training to the public. Club member Catherine Vance of Scottsbluff says there is also going to be presentations by special guests.
We're going to have Dr. Van Ann coming. We're going to be having Kira Bowie coming with her animal chiropractic, and we're also going to be having the Crispy Pet Deli, which opened up on Main Street last month, and they're all going to be there. Dr. Van Ann's going to be having some vaccinations available. Kira Bowie will hopefully show what she does with her animal chiropractic stuff, and the Pet Deli will hopefully have some stuff available.
Members will also be putting clinics in the areas of obedience, showmanship, agility, and rally for training dogs, plus canine health presentations and a booth for 4-H signups. The clinic is at the Mitchell Event Center from 9 to 1 p.m. and is free, but any Goodwill offerings will be used to replace dog ring mats used in practice and competition. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday.